Put up a little thing on your story or something like that. Or you can even go live on Insta. I can't do much because my phone's being good if you want. Well, go tune into it on YouTube. But I wish I could do stuff on my phone. It's just that I don't have it's hotspot right now. Yeah. Make a take a picture, like make like an Insta post or something like that, or put some on the story. And then I'll tag them.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a happy hour podcast. Of course, we're right here live on YouTube Live, as we are each and every episode. And of course, we're being joined by our featured guest, Bella Maori. Is it Maori? Or I knew I was going to put Maori. All right.
Maori.
Maori. All right. So Bella, of course, thank you for joining us on the show. And our very special guest co-host, CJ from Real Life XXX, is joining us as well. CJ, real quick, before we hop into the episode, of course, we were talking a little bit before we started. Me and Matt are super hungover from the wedding that we went to last night. So real quick, give everybody a little bit of a description of Real Life XXX and what you guys do.
Oh boy, how much time you guys got, huh? All right, I can write a whole novel for you here. But no, thanks for having me on. I mean, I guess I'm going to try and cover the slack that you guys had from the wedding last night, although I wish I kind of had that much fun myself. But, fun. I think that's kind of the definition of what we are at Real Life XXX. We're trying to brand ourselves as the first ever kind of crossover adult as well as influencer content production company, in the sense of we do things like challenges, pranks, have a whole day in the life of kind of stuff with your favorite adult stars, and in the process you see sort of a personality, you see their emotions come to the surface basically. And at the end of the day, once you really kind of understand that that's a valuable asset in an adult performer, what you see in the bedroom is even more fun than what you could have ever imagined. So it's more than just a body, or it's more than just like seeing them for what their physical attributes are. You see them for who they are, and you get to have a lot of fun just seeing them do things like win money or get pranked or whatever it might be. So we're fun. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with it. And again, thanks for having us on.
Nice. And Bella, of course, you did Playboy. How did the whole Playboy thing come along? And of course, you cam as well. So, like, what doing the Playboy thing compared to the camming stuff? Like, what was the process for doing the Playboy stuff compared to the camming stuff that you do?
That's a great question. It's very different. I'm trying to think how like a year ago, I found out about this amazing opportunity for me for Playboy. They were sort of rebranding themselves and making it more like a content creator site, but still with the Playboy brand and just feel of it, like the girl next door and stuff like that. So I applied and I got in. I was like, yay! So basically, with that, there's no sex or anything like that. It's just photos, videos. I mean, not with another person. So you can you can do something by yourself, but you can't it's not like a OnlyFans kind of thing where you could just free to do like sexual content or anything like that. And then of course camming is just free for all, right?
I think Playboy's kind of like that, the Playboy channel and all that. Like, they've never really had, like, as far as I remember, like any kind of like real like hardcore type content on like the Playboy channel. And I'm
Mhm.
not sure if it's still like that, or because I haven't watched it in a long time. That was back when they used to make those bootleg cable boxes that you could plug into, and it got you like all the shit. Or you had like the bootleg cards you could shove into the DirecTV thing, and it would get you all the channels and all that. I'd be like, oh, now me being I don't have to watch this static anymore and try to figure out what's
I don't
happening.
know, every time you might see a boob every once in a while.
And you're trying to put together what's happening. You're like, what is he doing, doggy? Is this mission? Like, what's happening right here? Like that was the best when you were in high school trying to figure that shit
Feel
out.
left more to the imagination.
You're trying to hit the box like, come on.
You're sitting there, you're like, come on, I'm just trying to wank one out. I need to see like a solid boob for like at least like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Of course, camming it gives you more leg room or room to explore a little more. But yeah, I think with Playboy, it's still that same brand, even with content creators. And I think it's great. Because there's girls that earn a lot of money on there and they don't really show anything. So I think it just depends on how you market yourself and what you want to do, So it's two different sides of the coin.
And of course, shout out, we're here on the YouTube Live, our live feed. Walter Novak, he said, hey, send a kiss from Brazil. So Walter tuning in. And of course, our good buddy, Jason Rushman, who tunes in. He's here every single week in the streaming. So shout out, guys. Make sure you put in whatever you want. And Burbank Misfits are here too. Said hi, can't stay too long, but hey. So shout out Burbank Misfits right here on YouTube Live. But so with the camming stuff, like, do you do requests also, like with your camming?
Yeah, well, when I first started out, because it started like 2018.
Okay.
And I sort of just was like all over the place because I was like, I just need to make some money and I'm just gonna, just do stuff. But I think after a while you build a fan base, and then, I always encourage them, like, hit me up, let me know what you want to see. Because I want to do content that people are interested in, or that they like, and then it kind of adds like this personal element to it, because they feel like, oh wow, she's doing something that I want her to do, as long as it's within my boundaries, it's all good.
So what is the weirdest request you think you've gotten so far? Like, I know you said as long as it's within your comfort zone or whatever. Like, what are those ones? Has anybody requested any that were completely out of your realm of comfort, and you're just like, yeah man, I'm not gonna blend up eggs and dump them like all over my body and then smack myself in the ass with a fish? It's not happening. Like, it's like
well, I mean, this one is weird. I'll say it because it's really weird, and I didn't really mind doing it. But there was just someone who wanted me to just, like, I guess, be in lingerie and sing Baby Shark song. So,
that's great.
Right? So
that's fantastic.
So
Nova's taking
like,
notes.
what
She's
the
gonna
hell?
do that like when she gets home.
Yeah, I'm like, people, you would be surprised. People like some really strange things. So I'm sitting there like in like sexy lingerie, and I'm singing Baby Shark, 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 Baby Shark.
Huh.
Like,
it's interesting.
Yeah, it's not like anybody was like, all right, look, here's what we want you to do. We want you to dress up like a shark. We want you to get into the ocean, and we want you to wait for some dumb kid to jump off the side of a cruise ship. And then when we go to throw our life preserver to him, he just disappears because he gets eaten by you as the shark. And I heard that story of that dumb kid that jumped off of the cruise ship and vanished, and everybody assumes that he got eaten by a shark. So, like,
baby shark.
But of course, we're sitting here, we're talking about it, and we're going to get a little bit into the wedding a little bit later on. But of course, we're hungover. When you went home last night, me and some of the family went to Waffle House last night. I don't know, do you guys have a house out where you guys are? Like, Waffle is like the redheaded stepchild of like late night breakfast places like that. Like, to be below the tier of Denny's, that kind of says something. But when you're drunk, it's good. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into our first drunken news article. Bella, what we do, we get into news articles, we read them off, and then we react on what happened with them. The first one is a man falls through the roof. And I came across this because we had an article of a man who fell through the roof of an infectious disease center last week. And when I was looking, as soon as I typed in "man falls through roof of," all these things popped up, and this was one of the ones that was on here. And so, and apparently there's a video of it as well, which I may play also. It says, "Another day, another human being falling through the roof of a restaurant." So I guess this is a common thing. Like, I mean, I've never been in like Chick-fil-A eating and just seen like a grown man fall through the roof and like,
oh my God,
you know, like I don't know, like it's just
practicing too many RKO's upstairs. That's what
yeah. Like it says the chaotic scene unfolded at a Waffle House in Tuscumbia, Alabama, after a man was filmed crashing through the drop-down ceiling and shoving past patrons and employees while trying to escape from staff on Sunday. So, like, what? Like, were the staffs holding this guy like captive? Like, what the hell is going on in this Waffle House? Like,
is that the video?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Crazy.
It says police in Tuscumbia County identified the man as 27-year-old Wesley Glenn Bose from Birmingham and said that he climbed up into the ceiling after locking himself in the restaurant's bathroom, according to
oh my God.
According to the news station. Footage taken inside the Waffle House shows the ceiling buckling under the man's weight before he ultimately falls through onto a table. An employee can be heard shouting, "Don't go nowhere," before the man charges into a patron attempting to block his path out of the restaurant.
Oh, how did he get up at
that? I feel like this man might have been having like a bad trip and was like, you know what? I'm going to go have an even worse trip in the bathroom of Waffle House. And they're like, bro, you got to get out of here. Like, you got to go. And he's like, you know what? Fuck y'all. I'm going to live in the ceiling. Like, this is what's going on.
We're going to go out to eat after this. Okay.
Yeah. Just make sure you give me some sausage and a couple of waffles. I'll be back in an hour. Like, come on now. It says another employee tried to hold the door shut to keep the man inside, but he rammed his body against the door until he's able to flee. The man took off in his car and later fled on foot. So why did he leave his car? Like, there's a lot. Like,
there's a lot to unpack.
There's a lot of unanswered questions.
Like, it says that the suspect fled before authorities arrived, but they are aware of the man and are obtaining warrants at this time. So does he always go up in this? Like I feel like that it's the kind of thing that, like, if you go to Waffle House and like your order sucks and you complain to the chef, like, it should be the kind of thing where like a man falls through the ceiling and just smacks the shit out of you and runs out of the like, I don't.
Free Waffle House for life.
Yeah.
Free Waffle House for life.
Like, how did he even get up there? Like what was the prequel to that situation?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like my basement has like a drop ceiling, which is awesome for like if you need a wire and all that shit. But never have I imagined I'm gonna climb my 240-pound ass up in the fucking ceiling. It's not even gonna hold me. That shit's gonna collapse down just by me putting a little bit of pressure on it and pulling on it. So for this dude to get up into the ceiling, and how is the bathroom configured to where like I feel like, you know, I don't know, like you just get up there and then it's like, you know, have you eaten? Did you not eat? Did you shit before? Did you not shit? Like, how do all these factors go into collapse down, you know, upon everything? So there is actually a video of this. For some reason, it's like popping up really like,
I think it's that one.
Here, let me try to get this on share. And here, actually, I'll look up the video because the one that I have is gigantic and it's not going to fit on the screen. So let me just look up another video real quick. So man falls through. Boom. All right. So here's one right here. So there's that. So, all right. Here's a better variation of it. All right. So here we go. Go ahead, hit that. And pull this up. Boom. So let's see. So it looks like it is loading. Well, here we go. I don't want this ad.
This is so great.
I don't care about this guy working out. So while that kind of plays through that, like imagine though, like what, like is there ever any point where you get mad and you're just kind of like, fuck it, I'm just gonna crawl into the ceiling. Oh shit, that like must be what it looked like when he came through the fucking like roof.
Wow.
Like Jesus, like there's insulation. Like, could you imagine if you're sitting at the next table over and then this man comes crashing down and now you have like insulation and you're fucking, oh shit, here it is right here.
Oh, he's just. Oh God.
Oh my
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. He's a tweaker.
I wasn't even trying to stop him. He's just pushing dude out of the way.
Oh,
Oh my God. Damn.
oh my God.
Oh Jesus, homeboy has a chair too.
I'd still go back to eat there.
All right. So
Yeah, he's-
I feel like that there's not really much to explain why dude ended up there. Like that's
He just couldn't pay the bill, you know, it happens. No biggie.
yeah. That's gonna be 1976, sir. That ain't happening. I'm going up to sir, you need to pay it. Like
he's
that's probably what it
definitely
is.
not paying.
Yeah, he probably owed money and they chased him into the bathroom and then he just scaled his way like fucking Spider-Man, like up into the fucking bathroom and was like, hey, to hell with this. So Bella,
He
so
fell through that roof.
now
angry.
with camming, if someone was like, all right, look, we need you to scale up into your ceiling. We want you to take off all your clothes. We need you to scale up into your ceiling. And then, you know, we're going to send you this undisclosed amount of money to come crashing down through there. And then you just do the Baby Shark song. Would that be a yes or a no to a request like that?
That would be a hell to the no. I'm not.
That's a
crashing through
boundary
no
for
ceiling.
you. I'm surprised. Wow. That's a boundary? No way.
Yeah, nah, I can't be crashing through no ceilings. Like it's not that serious.
What,
I mean, the Baby Shark song, okay, but like that's like stuntman level stuff right there.
what if someone goes, well, we have a request. Like, what if you sit naked and just eat Waffle House until you can't stand it anymore? Like, I mean, being drunk and eating Waffle House, like that's going to blow your insides out just alone. But just eating Waffle House just willingly and then eating it until you can't stand it anymore. Like, I don't know. I think that's cardiac arrest. Like,
No, Nova's sitting over here saying, I'll do that without getting paid for it. I'll eat Waffle House till I blow up without getting paid for it. I've had a low key really quick. So they don't have Waffle House here in LA, right? So they don't have it here, at least on the West Coast, as far as I've seen. They had it in Colorado when I went out there and we filmed the 12th episode out there, which is coming out. But I had it all the time when I was in South Carolina and Georgia. Don't hate on a Waffle House. It's also open kitchens. You can kind of see what they're doing all the time. That's why
yeah. You can always see what's going on.
and stuff. Yeah. So you know what? If someone falling through the ceilings, crap, and the food's great, I'll go back there again. It's almost like, you remember that old movie that I can't remember if it was like whatever it was. It was with Robin Williams and like the plane crashes into the building or something like that. And then Robin Williams just said, I'll buy the place. And they're like, why would you buy it? He's like, what are the chances that's going to happen again? I'll go back to a Waffle House for the same exact reason.
Yeah. and Bella, with the camming stuff, like, have you ever, like, I guess, you know, have you ever like gotten hurt doing any of your camming stuff? Like when you do it, like, I guess, do you set up all of your own equipment? Like, is it already preset for you? Like, have you ever gotten hurt recording or setting up for any of your cam scenes?
Yeah, that's a great question because I do have my little setup and stuff that I do, but I used to have this chair that was like old as hell and I just could not get rid of the chair. I think I had like some type of connection to it or something. And so if you sit or lean back a certain way, you will fall out that chair. So
were you live camming and you just spilled out of that chair?
I did. And it was so crazy. I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, but I just cut the camera off and then I just like, you know, this is my new chair, by the way.
Was this recent?
Yeah, right
on. Was that recent when that happened?
This was probably like this is during the pandemic.
Okay. And I
So,
have enough shit
yeah.
with everyone in the world. Now my chair that I have an emotional connection to is now gone.
Yeah, I was so sad. And as I was taking my chair out to the trash, it was falling apart in my arms. I was like, bye.
This is Blackwood
Your
chair.
poor chair.
Like,
Your poor chair
Yeah.
passed away. Your poor chair passed
Yeah.
away from COVID.
yeah.
It was
Yeah. Yeah.
COVID.
And you know what? Honestly,
Yeah. But yeah,
that's when this show got started, was actually during COVID. June,
Okay.
actually, our 1 year and our 4-year anniversary is coming up, which we'll be talking about momentarily. After we take a break a little bit later, our HHPod Rumble, which will be coming up. And Bella, you will be playing the game that will be featured during the HHPod Rumble next week, momentarily as well. So,
okay.
now Bella, when you so Playboy, did Playboy come first or did the camming come first?
The camming was first.
The camming was first. Okay, so
Mhm.
so when you applied for Playboy, like what all went into it that you had to do? Like was it like all these things of, will you do this? Will you do that? Like, have you done this? Like, have you posed for this? Are you willing to kill a man with a saber? Like, I mean, like what was like the questioning, for
No, it wasn't anything like that at all. It wasn't a checklist asking like what, I mean, they have their rules and their their guidelines, all those words that nobody ever reads. They just sign up for stuff. They're just like, okay.
Yes.
But, I don't know. I probably didn't even read that shit. I'll probably just but
yeah. Who reads the fine print? What is this? Nope.
I know. And then and then when you get in trouble for something, they're like, you need to read your guidelines. You're like, oh shoot, then you're trying to get that through.
Wait, you mean to tell me I didn't read them? Oh God.
I didn't sign up for this. Well, apparently you did. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if
No, it was pretty simple. You just apply, fill out it wasn't anything like that. Just information, I don't know, just like you were submitting an application.
Okay.
But it wasn't asking you anything about like sex or anything like that. So yeah.
You're like, I never signed up to be the girlfriend of a man, of some 95-year-old man wearing a red robe. Be like, well, actually, if you go back to the contract and you
look at these guidelines.
Yeah. Like it's crazy because I'm wondering, like, why do they make those guidelines so small and it's so long? Because they know no one's gonna read it.
And I think that's what it is with anything, any contract, whether it be wrestling, whatever, you sign a contract, like it has so much just bullshit, and then like in the middle, something that means something.
Yeah,
and then it's bullshit. And a sentence to where you're gonna want to read that, and they're not gonna read bullshit here, but they're gonna really know this right here, and then the rest of this bullshit they don't need to know either. So
that's
it. I really like it. I think it really fits my brand, and because it's like it's sort of like borderline, but not, so it's cool. I love it. I've met some very wonderful girls that are on there. Like we link up, we have our little group chats and stuff, and it's a great experience. And you can make a lot of money. There's a lot of earning potential in there, and because you can make money through DMs and sending videos through DMs, and you just sort of set your own price and stuff. It's really cool.
Nice. So, have you ever had anybody request to put something inside yourself that you were like, I'm not doing that? Like that's
no, not at all.
like someone just goes, all right, look, we see your fish tank in the background. Would you be willing to put that actual fish tank with the fish still inside yourself?
No.
Like,
I don't know.
I'm not doing that.
Absolutely not. What is really weird to me is I get a lot of like dick pics, and it's like, what the hell? Like, no, there's no content. There's no hi, how are you doing?
She's a dick pic.
There's no.
Damn, what's up?
Open it, and it's just like, okay,
That's just how us men communicate. Okay.
My favorite.
What is up with that? Like, it's so strange. I'm like,
and then Bella, correct me if I'm wrong. But they ask you to rate it right afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, some
Give
do.
me it.
Yes.
What do you think of this, man?
Yeah, CJ, no bullshit, and Bella, no bullshit. There's been times, and of course, Twitter is the fucking Wild West. So there's been times, I the one time I remember, it's happened a couple of times, but I do remember that one of the guests was Sarah J. I was posting the graphic for Sarah J, and she reshared it, and it blew up huge. I'm getting all these notifications, and the next thing I see is just this man's like just giant hog, and I guess like he sent it for Sarah J. And I'm like, well, bro, you know that also we can see this. So like I sat there and I gave him a dick rating. I was like 1 out of 10. And he was just kind of like, really? That's bullshit. And I was just like, bro, like I'm not interested in it. Like,
Same thing happened to me. We actually took a couple pictures with her at the XBiz here in Hollywood back in last year basically. And she shared it and retweeted and stuff. And I just looked down the page and I was like, oh, all right. Well, she retweeted our tweet and they were putting dick pics on our tweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
flying in.
Nothing like that, no context, just an unwarranted dick pic.
Yeah,
and I was
like, what the hell? Yeah, like what's even funnier, this happened to me before. There was this guy that I used to work at Hooters. Okay, I got it out there.
Oh, that's great.
That's
awesome.
That was back in the day, ancient times. And there was a guy
who
would come in to see me. He was like an older guy, and he would come in to see me all the time. And then one day he sent me a dick pic, but it was of like a younger guy. I was like, his face wasn't on there. It was just. And
this is my son's dick. Do you like it? It looks just like mine.
I was like, oh, and it was so weird. And that's when I really realized, like, these guys are sending other guys' penises to people that's not theirs. And that's a thing, I think, because what the heck?
I don't know. I'll take things I've never done before for 1,000, Alex. Like, personally.
Have you ever gotten a dick pic and then just laughed out loud upon looking at it?
Yeah.
Just by that, it's like you sit there and it's like the most formed, weirdest looking, like eagle claw looking dick you've ever seen in your life.
Oh God.
Yes, sir. I did not need to see this. Like I now want to pour boiling hot water into my eyeballs.
Yeah, it's that's one of the things I don't like. That's what I don't like about it, is that it's just random. You know, because women typically do not get turned on by that. Like my wife doesn't get turned on by my dick. Like I don't like I could show it to her all night long and it's just not gonna happen. Like I'm like, why do these men think that?
I don't know.
You're just gonna be like, oh God, okay, let's go. You're sort of like the opposite. Yeah, you're like, he's creepy. Like,
Bella, I just think I'm impressed by the fact that it kind of happened with someone at a Hooters more than anything. Like, Klein, you've been seeing for like a while through a Hooters and stuff. I mean, granted, you're probably a nice guy. It's not like you fell through a roof or anything like that, But I mean, it's in reality, like, I don't know. That's just kind of wild to me. And I know it's like you're getting the reassurance on your end. I just want to say, Bella, because I got Nova nodding her head to everything you're saying over here as well, who's also a performer in the business. So it's just what, like, on cam, whatever and stuff. This person comes and sees you in person in a Hooters on a consistent basis, and you're just like, oh shit, now I gotta treat him like another one of my people I see on cam.
Yeah, it was weird because you just really don't know what to say. You're like, that's not yours, but you didn't. But I didn't say it. I just pretended that I just thought it was his, but I was like, what the heck? He knows damn well that is not. It was like an 18, 19-year-old guy, like. Penis, and he was like 60 or 70 years old.
So Hooters. So with Hooters, how long were you at Hooters? Like what were you there for a while? Like, and I mean,
yeah, I was there like at least like 4 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when I paid my way through college. Like, was it?
Hey,
there you go.
Whatever works. I mean, that's why a lot of people, get into porn or get into stripping or whatever, because you need to make money. I mean, fuck, the economy ain't getting any better. So that's the whole thing. It's like you gotta hustle and do whatever you need to do.
It's really funny because it seems like Hooters is almost like the gateway drug to other things in the adult industry, because a lot of girls started off at like Hooters girls, and then they either get like they're dancing or they're doing porn or they're or something like that, or camming, or it's real, or escorting. So it's like a gateway drug.
Gentlemen's Club was my gateway drug.
Yeah. Now, have you guys
What did you say, CJ?
What's
I
that?
didn't hear what CJ said. What did he
Oh
say?
no, I just said that. I said the gentleman's club was my gateway drug. Although I was a
Okay.
floor host, I was the one who helps like sell the rooms and like kind of be an outside
nice.
manager, all that stuff and everything. But it gave the respect of like the hustle and the like attitude of really being like an entrepreneur in adult work. Because like from an outside perspective, most people don't understand it. But once you're there, you're like, wow, that girl hustles. She's not just like someone who doesn't know what they're doing. They're actually working their asses off and everything.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I feel that.
and like it's
Older than that, you
funny
son of a bitch.
because with the I forgot to bring extra one down here. Right here. But no, like it's crazy because I feel like with a lot of that, like you said it's kind of like a gateway drug. Have you guys ever heard of, and I know that the one here closed up, like they abruptly closed up and left, but have you ever heard of a place called the Tilted Kilt? Because there's other ones that are around and it's kind of like Hooters, but everybody wears like tight shirts that are tied in knots and they wear kilts. Yeah. Like the girls wear kilts.
I've heard of that. I've heard about that. Yeah, I've heard about that. It's sort of the same like premise, but it's just different outfits because it's still like the sports bar and the girls look sexy and stuff like that. So yeah, I've heard of it. It's like the kilts are cute, I think.
Yeah. Like I don't know. It was weird because like Hooters has like that defined look. Like Hooters has the short orange shorts, the white tank top, and then you have Tilted Kilt, which it's just kind of like, oh man, this is different. Like it's almost like a new flavor. It's like discovering a new genre of porn. Like you're just kind of like, oh, hey, wait a minute. This like I think I like this man with no legs tearing into this woman. Like I don't know. Like this is new to me.
Wait, what?
What I'm going to do is, of course, I asked the question of if anybody ever asked you if you would put certain things inside of yourself. So we have an article here, and it was pretty much a man in Nepal, and it says a drunken mistake leads to an embarrassing hospital visit. It says a 47-year-old man was left in extreme pain and needing surgery after he inserted a water glass into his ass.
Oh,
the
God.
Man arrived to the emergency department, admitting that the object had been inside him for 3 days. Initially, the man said that it had happened by accident, before revealing that he had inserted the glass into himself for sexual gratification while intoxicated, and according to the Journal of Napal Medical Center.
Wow.
Oh, you have a fucking X-ray of it too. Shit.
You got the X-ray of that?
Yeah. Hold on. I'll pull it up right now. Hold on.
Dude, what?
Boom. So all right. So like you can see. Like,
oh my God. Oh no!
Like,
no way! No way!
Pour coffee in his asshole, and that would fill that whole drink. Like that. Like it's not even face up. Like this is like face down. So he can't even like shit into this. Like this is blocking every. Like oh holy shit!
Oh my
like,
God!
Did he like use a broomstick to shove that far up there? Like because I feel like his ass is right here, and like it's like all the way like up there.
Jesus Christ!
It said the man hadn't had a bowel movement in 2 days and was able to pass wind, but he had no bleeding, but was in a lot of pain. The man tried to remove the glass himself, but failed. So how do you try? Like, do you kind of fist yourself at that point, trying to pull the thing out of there? Or do you use like a set of like long tongs that like you like how do you try to get that out of your own ass? Like
they probably had to surgically remove that. I don't know.
Let's see. Let's see what else. So it says after an X-ray was done, doctors tried to remove it, but couldn't get a grasp on the glass as it was inverted. Medical staff then performed an exploratory laparotomy, which is a surgery to open up the abdomen. At that point, they attempted to move the glass out by milking or squeezing the lower intestine. Milking was attempted to deliver the glass through the anus, but was unsuccessful as the glass was high up, inverted, and tightly wedged.
Oh God, I can't even stand this story. It's so crazy.
Hence the sigmoid extronomy was done and the glass was extracted. And intrasternotomy is a surgical incision into the intestine, allowing doctors to direct access to the glass. That's right. Jesus Christ. Hold on. Oh, Jesus Christ. So there's another shot at the X-ray. I'm not sure if that's a zipper, what that is, like why.
Oh my God. Is this real?
I thought that was his penis at first, but that's the glass
Your penis, I don't
inverted
think shows up.
in his ass. Like
What?
Jesus
Fill
H
back up.
Christ.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Bong? Did he
Like,
stick
I
a
don't know. I
bong
feel
up
like
there?
it's like a pint glass. That looks like a pint glass. That's what that
It
looks like.
does. It does. It looks like a
Oh
pint
my
glass.
God. It says the man remained in the hospital for 7 days recovering from the incident. Holy shit.
Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
and I mean, this is a double question, CJ
Uh-huh.
and Bella. Like, have you guys at any point in your life just looked at any inanimate object and went, that needs to be inside me?
No.
I mean, like, I
No.
understand because yeah, like, look at CJ now. He's like, I wonder how far up my ass I can shove this. Like, and I mean, we like that's just the basis of a lot of the stories that we have on the show. Like, I think the worst one, and Matt, we were telling somebody this at the wedding last night, is that one of the worst ones was a guy who shot. You ever see like that spray foam that you use to like cover in like cracks and shit in your attic? He
Yeah.
put that shit in the end of his dick and fucking pretty much fix-a-flatted his fucking dick with
What?
that spray foam. Yeah, it was fucking wild. And I'm like, why do people like?
Fans too.
I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
don't-
I don't understand. Like, because that shit definitely expands when like it fucking.
Well,
you know,
that was all the way up his
Yeah.
intestines.
Well, it's funny because
Like,
bringing
my
that up.
It's
like,
intestines.
one of the guys
That's
that,
so
that was in the wedding
crazy.
party last
Ugh.
night.
Oh no.
He works for a hospital, and he says he sees shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
And he was saying that there was a
we gotta
guy.
have him on.
Yeah, he said that
Yeah.
there was a guy that they had to remove an apple. I think it was like a gala apple from his ass. And they said they knew it was a gala apple because it still had the sticker on it that said gala apple. And I was like, what would be hilarious is if at that point, like you go into lunch and you just see the doctor sitting there and he bites into an apple. It's like, if it's a perfectly good apple and you remove it, you like rinse it off at that point and just go, well, I mean, it's still edible.
No, the doctor eats it.
That'll
Like,
Sell it
Did
for
you
a lot
guys
of money.
ever hear about that guy that crazy glued his hand to his penis?
no. That was
I don't have the news article or anything, but there was
I didn't think
actually a
anyone
guy.
would find out. Gosh.
Yeah, he apparently, I don't even know if this is true, but he apparently said he thought it was lube and he put it in his hand and he had to go to the hospital.
That
It
was
got stuck.
totally a scene in American Pie. Like
Yeah,
that-
American Pie.
that
Yep,
scene
that's
in
right.
American Pie.
Really? Which one?
I think the
first
second one. It was the
No,
second
the
one.
second one?
Was I
Oh.
think it was the second one because he was in the house and like he had a tape and he had the lube right next to super glue and he got it stuck to his hand, but also the tape got stuck to his hand when he took the tape out. So like, he's trying to shake the tape off of his hand.
Oh God.
Like, had to come and like all that. Yeah. Like
Yeah, because remember that show used to come on, Sex Brought Me to the ER.
oh,
And it was,
that's
like all these weird
Yeah.
stories about people
Yeah.
like, going to the ER from crazy sex stuff.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the stories that was on there.
oh
Yeah. There was 150 Ways to Die that was used to be on Spike
That-
TV.
a
That
thousand
I used to
ways to
watch
die.
that. Yeah, I
That
used to
was
watch
Ways to Die,
that.
you're right, yeah.
That
Yeah,
was a
that was
wild
good.
show. My favorite one was the guy took like this coloscopy bag type thing and he had his wife put like moonshine or some shit in it and she shoved like the hose of it into his ass and like pumped all the alcohol on his ass because it bypasses everything and goes like right to your like liver and shit and it like killed him because it didn't have time to like break
Oh,
down or anything like that
God.
because like he just flushed
the
all
hell?
that shit into his ass like right into his system. Like, yeah. And like, I don't understand like what goes through it. Like, and like, I've always wanted to know somebody who like,
Uh-oh. Did I completely cut it out?
sexual experience
Oh, there we go.
that they could tell me about. and like, it's hilarious. And like, it's also the kind of thing that speaking of the wedding last night, the same guy was telling me, Matt, I didn't tell you this, but he was telling me that his son is restricted from using electronic devices like laptop, gaming, whatever, all that, to maybe about like 30 minutes a day. And me and the groom were like, well, why? Like, and he's like, well, you see what happens is he watches these people gaming for hours and hours and hours and hours on YouTube. And then what happens is he just ends up shitting, but he doesn't do anything. Like he just shits himself and continues to watch these videos. And I'm like, wait, so he's watching for hours and hours.
Hold on. The
But he
same guy,
doesn't-
isn't it his son is like 10 though, right?
Yeah, it's the same kid that was playing ladder ball with
Oh
us
my
last
God.
night.
He's
And
like 10 years
the
old.
whole time he was playing
That's
ladder ball with
unacceptable.
us, I was like, I hope this kid doesn't shit.
Oh, geez.
Because he's been out here for hours playing ladder ball with us. And
Oh
they
my
said
God.
they said they found out because the first time he ever did it, he just put his underwear in the wash. So they found these shit crusted like underwear.
Oh God.
I'll be
Oh
honest.
God.
10 years old, okay, that's a little much, but I definitely did that
Did
when
you
I
do
was
it
like,
last week? Like I
when I was like, no, when I was like 5 or 6. Like it was just like whatever, and
Yeah.
so I just put it in the
No.
dirty laundry.
No.
Yeah.
But 10 years old, that's a little bit
what does
much.
it like? What does like fully encrusted shit underwear do to a washer? Like, does that ever come out? Like, I mean, it basically looks like a milkshake blender at that point.
It's
I
so
would imagine. You're
gross.
blending up like a chocolate milkshake.
I can't do it. That would freak me out because I have this thing with like bodily fluids, like
Yeah.
spit and shit, and it just makes me want to like I'll throw up like.
Like Bella, just imagine that though. Like you go to pull, underwear, and like you pull them out and like they're heavy. You're like, man, these feel like why do these have
No.
a little
That
bit of
would
weight to
destroy me.
them?
I
And
would
then,
be
like,
destroyed.
Yeah, you just see it looks like fucking several Hershey bars have
Oh
melted,
God.
like inside. And he had a photo. He showed us a fucking photo
He showed
of
you a
what the
photo.
underwear looked like. And I was just kind of like, yeah, that kid definitely shit his drawers while he was watching.
Glad I
Like,
missed that.
but to do it and not say anything, like that's completely
Oh
wrong.
man.
You're gonna know. Someone's gonna find out eventually.
So that's why he's restricted, because they're afraid that he's gonna. And I told him, I said, well, like, is he gonna grow out of this? Because what happens if like he's in school and he takes like a computer class, or like he takes like keyboarding or something, and like they're having him do like research, and then all of a sudden I'm like, does he make like a face when he shits? Like, does he
Oh my
like is he
God.
like just like how we are? Like he just shits and just keeps on enjoying himself? Like, I mean, like, there's got to be something
Right.
like,
Or if he gets
God.
bored and then he's like Bella here and he's just shitting himself.
He's just shitting over and over again. Like, so now, Bella, now we're gonna put this thought in your mind that you could be camming with somebody that may just be
No, please don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
over and over again. Like this man's sitting on like 6 pounds of shit. Like,
No,
like-
no, no.
Uh,
I can't. That's I'm forever scarred. I am forever scarred.
Bella, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but he's just sitting,
No.
looks and he's like, I'm out of lube. So he just reaches down the back of his diaper and goes,
no.
this'll work. Ah.
Oh God. No, God, please.
we want to take this moment on the HH podcast to give a little disclaimer. We do not endorse shoving glasses up your ass. We do not endorse
And, Bella,
taking a
with-
shit while you're
with that
gaming.
being
These are all
said,
things you shouldn't be doing.
with that being
Yeah.
said, welcome to
I don't know what this fascination is, but a lot of people just like to stick stuff up their asses. It's like it's just bizarre. Like
their dick. We've had so many things where people have stuck, like
Yeah.
somebody stuck an entire fucking pen cap into
Yeah.
their fucking and into their urethra, and it's like,
Look.
what the fuck are you
Look,
doing?
I'm not a stranger to butt stuff,
Whoa,
but
whoa.
wait.
point.
Wait a minute, Matt. I've known you for 13 years. I just now heard I'm not a stranger
There's a
to butt
certain point. No,
Like,
I don't stuff random things in my ass. I'm just saying there's a certain point where
slowly
it's not-
easing down on the microphone after
no,
the
it's,
show's
it's
done.
not pleasurable, like even with a woman or whatever, a guy. It's at a certain point, it's not pleasurable,
I can't. I shout out to all the butt champions out there.
I don't know any butt shape.
I can't do
Whatever,
it.
whatever you do, and Bella, you might not be able to sit through this, but there's a video. The shout out to Eric Woodworth and Tommy Simbazo, who are local comedians who fill in all the time on this show. They had sent me a video, and I showed it to you, Matt. It was called Walrus Dildo Anal, and
No.
it was this dildo that was like the size of like a walrus dick. And this guy is just slowly easing down on it. And it was the most horrific thing I'd ever seen in my life. And he kept on like in the video, what freaked Matt out the most was the way the man was smacking his own ass.
Yeah, that was
Like
weird.
that.
Wait,
Like,
what?
he's just like smacking the shit out of his own ass. And Matt's just like, I can't do that. I'm like, so the rest of it you can sit through.
No.
But this man smacking his own ass the way he's doing it is where you draw the lines.
Yeah, I exactly. Where do you draw the line? I'm wondering if it's like some type of like he's hyping himself up. You know, like
I gotta get this.
Like sort of like
I
that.
gotta
Yeah,
smack my
like
ass
he's his own hype man. He's his own hype man in that situation.
Adrenaline going.
Yeah, that's straight.
Let's see, adrenaline wears out. He's got a freaking whale.
Oh my God. And what we're going to do real quick, we're going to take a quick, like 2 or 3 minute break. Just in case you guys want to use the bathroom, grab something to drink. We're going to play some ads from some of our friends. And then when we get back, we're going to get into a game segment called Ode to Humanity, where we play our series of games. So what we're going to do for everybody watching here live or watching at home later on, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back here live on YouTube Live with CJ and Bella. And we're gonna keep on rocking and rolling. We'll get everything in gear. So here we go. We'll be back in 1 second, guys.
Hey, this is Cassidy Lux, and you're watching the Happy Hour podcast.
Hello, my name is Bubba Albany. I am a bodyguard who has been in the security industry for over a decade. My team and I offer a variety of security services that cover all aspects of security operations. We have secured some of the highest profile clients and largest events in the world. Should your situation require armed protection, we have the ability to carry in all 50 states and U.S. territories.
It's freezing. No sun.
Not only do we have the latest security equipment, we also have world-class training. We look forward to assisting all of your security needs by bringing you the finest and most dedicated security personnel available. From the Office of the President of the United States to local county and state dignitaries, my tactical dignitary protection officers are the tip of the spear in this extremely competitive industry. Let my highly trained staff protect the asset today. We can be contacted via the email and number below. Thank you.
Sweet little honey, I must confess, got myself in a terrible mess. I got a new tattoo, 2 black eyes, missing 1 tooth, but you should see the other guy. Girl, I must admit I don't remember much. Someone must have served me a knockout punch. Cops scooped me up off of the ground. Now could you come and get me from the lost and found? Uh-oh, I fucked it up again. Oh baby, where do I begin? Uh-oh, I fucked it up again. I did a real good job. I'm really not sure if you have enough. Lately I know I've been pushing my luck. Remember that time I said I'd take you on a date? Showed up drunk about 3 days late. I'll do my best, gonna make this right. Girl, you gotta know that you're the love of my life. So this right here's my apology. So while you're on the line, can you come and get me?
Derek Sharp, the owner of Curtain Jerker Designs, who does an amazing job. I'm blown away every single time, and his speed that he has getting everything back to us is immaculate.
Hit up Derek with Curtain Jerker Design.
Look no further than Curtain Jerker Designs. Make sure you hit up Derek.
Derek Sharp, man. Hey, just want to say thank you for the posters, all the hard work you put into, man. We really appreciate you, man.
A shout out to Derek Sharp from Curtain Jerker Designs. Yo, dude, just want to say, this poster, off the hook.
Hey, what's up, players? This is Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and I want to give a big shout out to my man Derek over there with Curtain Jerkers Designs.
If you are looking for the best graphics, the best designs, look up Curtain Jerker. I do.
Curtain Jerker Designs. That's who I use for any of my graphic designs, and you should too.
Thanks, Curtain Jerker Designs.
Big old shout out.
Hi, I'm Leanna Lovings, and you're watching the Happy Hour podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, we're here on YouTube Live, and it's always funny when you're live when you realize when you have a video fuck up. And of course, I apologize to Derek Sharp from CurtainJerkerDesigns.com. I forgot to minimize the size of the video when I was rushing through my edits before we began. But that happens. If anybody out there wants to play any kind of ads during the live broadcast of the show, just let us know. We'll work something out to be able to have that happen. And real quick, what we're going to do, we're going to get into our current featured beer, which Matt, you're new to this. I had this last week, which is Backfin. So Backfin, of course, this little crab guy wearing a little fin on himself. And it's brewed right here in Odenton, Maryland by Crooked Crab Brewing Company. And it's hoppy, tropical and dank. It said swim at your own risk because the sneaky crab is hopped to the extreme with luscious Samoko, Cryo, Citra, and Reiko for a flavor profile packed with sweet tropical fruits, juicy citrus, and a hint of dank. It is 8.5% alcohol by volume. I actually reached out to them. We might be doing a local feature there soon. Just waiting for a response with that. When that's the case, we'll get all the information out there. And of course, we do have our featured shot, which our featured shot is something we were very familiar with last night at the wedding, which we were drinking while we were getting ready. And that's, of course, Fireball, the one and only Fireball. So shout out to Fireball, which is our current featured shot. Here, Matt, I'll go ahead. I'll pour this for you because this one, I only have one clean one.
Oh, you only have one shot glass. So.
I only have one shot glass. You can go ahead and glass, and I'll just drink right out of this. So here you go. That's for you.
I'll drink to that. I had my mouth washed this morning, though, so I'm good.
And shout out to that. All right. So Fireball contributed to putting our dicks in the dirt last night. Jesus. But what we're going to do, so Bella, we're going to get into our game segment called Ode to Humanity. So we have a series of games that we play. We're going to get into our most recent game that we added probably about like 2 or so months ago. It's called Extreme Personal Questions. Now, the way that this works is that there's 2 questions on the card. You don't know which question you're going to get. It's question A, question B. You're going to randomly choose a letter. And you're going to get that question. Normally, whichever one you don't answer, you choose myself or Matt to get the other question. But since CJ is also here and he's new to the show, he will automatically get whatever question you do not. Both are random. You don't know what they are until you get the letter. So Bella, do you want to choose A or do you want to choose B?
Let's go with B.
B. All right. So B, Matt, you want to read that off?
Oh no.
So B, what has been your most careless injury ever?
Oh God. I have so many.
You talked about one of them possibly already, right?
Yeah.
Oh God.
There's injuries, I guess, where you sit there and you look back, you're like, God, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I can't believe my leg's broken from peeing down the steps of a drunk bus in Ocean City. Like,
God. Well, I guess I'm okay because I'm always tripping over stuff every day. Like I'm so clumsy. Yeah. People don't know that about me, but and then if I smoke some weed, it's like it's over. So, I have these lights. I have these lights that I use, for camming and stuff. These things, poles and all this shit. And so I like a lot of times I walk by them and I always trip over them, no matter where I put them in my house. So I tripped over it. It hit me in the head. It was like a cartoon. It hit me in the head. And I'm not even kidding you. I sort of like saw stars and I had like this big knot on my head, all because I'm always tripping over that light. So there you go.
I'm gonna cam with you.
There you go.
That's like, I want to cam with you. I want you to get high and I want you to just trip over things.
I trip on everything. I do it so much that I hate it. I'm like, why can't I just not trip on stuff? Like I have these numerous scars from tripping over stupid shit that's like right in front of me, but I think it's because I don't look down. I just walk straight.
No, in your defense, Bella, lights are really easy to trip over and stuff. I mean, when I have like 4 or 5 lights set up and stuff, and I will always kick them over, or trip over them, and like worry about
it was like boing, it was just like that.
One of our old hosts, who was it? Was it Mike? Somebody crashed and burned when we went. Shout out to Bubba Almany. You saw his security thing. He had a celebrity basketball game, and we set up there, and we had like a bunch of wires and all that, and our old co-host Mike crash and burned hard.
I remember that
on
shit.
those chords.
Oh my
And
God.
like the episode started, like we started and we were laughing hysterically because it literally happened live. And it was like,
it's one of those things that it almost feels like it happened in slow motion.
yeah. And like,
I saw him trip and he was in the air, felt like forever. And then he was all like,
yeah.
oh. I was like, oh my
Oh,
God.
It's so embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. I just give up. I've just accepted it.
So here's what we're going to do. So the next question, which is question A, we'll go to CJ. So CJ, what were you doing the last time you realized that you needed to shut your blinds?
I'm glad I get that question.
Thanks, Bella. I could have taken the injury question, no problem. But yeah, all right. Next time I need to shut my blind. literally filming, or no, it's probably when me and Nova were doing it, and literally we had to shut the blinds in my room literally like a day ago, probably, or a couple days ago. Yeah, because like, so the way my house is like set up where I live right now in beautiful Santa Monica is like there's a guest house directly behind where we are, and you can see like straight into our room, like on the same floor, everything like that. So I learned after a couple months that the blinds, like they're those ones, they're not the blinds that you like pull or anything, the blinds that you kind of like they either go like up like this or they go down like that. I guess if that makes sense. Like yeah. So I learned those blinds need to go up. Because if they go down, you can still see in them from like a higher window.
Yeah, that's how the blinds are at my house. That's how I know. Yeah, we have to put them up. Because if not, because we had an issue with our dog seeing out the blinds. When we put them down, she would just look up like this. And she would still see shit. So we had to flip them that way. And then she couldn't see anything anymore. And then she was like paralyzed because she didn't know what to fucking do because she couldn't fucking see out.
You mean millions of strangers can be watching me right now?
Yes.
I had no idea about this.
So our next game, and this is 3 rounds, and it's 3 random cards that we drew out of the box. It is Never Have I Ever. So if you've never played Never Have I Ever, it pretty much works as we'll read off something on the card, and if you've done it, you either raise your hand or take a drink. If you want to give an explanation, you can. If not, no pressure. So
I lose all the time at this game. I lose all the time.
So the first one, I would hope none of us have done this, but the first one is Never Have I Ever ended up on a no-fly list.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So I was
can't
waiting.
say
Matt was sitting there like kind of thinking, and I'm like, wait a minute, Matt, what have you done?
Not a felon or anything. You know.
All right. So the second one is Never Have I Ever had to clean up a sibling's puke. I've never cleaned up a sibling's puke, but I'm gonna drink because I have cleaned up friends' puke. I have done that. So I guess that kind of
I mean,
I think I've cleaned up your puke. Like I've cleaned up your puke. I've cleaned up Jess's cousin's puke. I've cleaned up so much puke in my life that I'm glad I don't have like some sort of weird puke section where I'm like just shovel some of this up and just spoonful it into my mouth. Like
nasty, okay.
All right. All right. So, and the last one is Never Have I Ever snagged someone else's food when the delivery person accidentally delivered it to my door. I have, in fact, done that.
I have done that. Yeah,
I've done that.
See, I'm still good. For the record, Nova's down to 1. Nova's down to 1 behind me.
Which one?
And
so she's down to 1. So which ones has she done?
Which ones have you done? The last 2. So it was the puke and the delivery to the wrong door.
Yeah. Now, with taking somebody's food, Bella, what was the food that you took? Like what?
It was pizza. Like
it's always pizza. They always just deliver pizza, and I'm a pizza guy. I just lost like 50 pounds, and I was like, once I make it to like, I'm not exactly at 50, but I was like, once I go to 50 pounds, it's been 6 months since I've eaten pizza. I'm gonna eat a whole entire fucking pizza.
Yeah, that's my favorite food. Like I go freaking cracked out for pizza. I can't even because I'm like really like health conscious or whatever. But when it comes to that, I will sit there and eat that whole thing and like just guzzle it down. So yeah, it was a Domino's pizza and they delivered it here, but I think it was supposed to go like down the street and I just took that shit.
Oh, yeah. I did it.
I feel bad, but you know, I don't know, I had to do it.
I've done this, and I've actually taken someone's food that they ordered online, like in store, because they do that.
Yeah. I did that. I did that with alcohol before. Someone like pre-ordered alcohol, and they put it on the counter, and the person wasn't there, and it was like this like really expensive whiskey. And I just kind of looked around, and they were like David, and I was just kind of like, I'm David, and they're like, all right, here you go, and I'm like, peace.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know why. I took the food. I went home, and I was like, this is not what I ordered. How could they fuck this up? Then I eat it, and then like later, because this is not order. That's why.
I am not Ezekiel at all.
Right.
All right. So the next game, of course, is one of the most famous games on this show, which is Incoherent. So Incoherent, of course, next Friday we will be live right here on YouTube Live, 8:00 p.m. Eastern, for our second annual HHPod Rumble, which 30 former guests come back, Royal Rumble style elimination, and the winner gets sent a custom championship belt. Johnny Goodluck won last year. He got a Happy Hour Pod Rumble title with his name customized on it. All that same guy who made my belt behind me will make that belt from scratch and send it to the winner. So much what Incoherent is. And CJ, since you're here with us too, you can help Bella. Pretty much what it's going to be is we're going to show a series of cards on the screen that are in drunken lingo. You need to sound out the cards and figure out what the cards say.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. So this is going to happen one of two ways. Either you're going to go completely blank and your brain's going to turn off and you're not going to know how to answer them, or you're going to get them like that. So, so I'm getting the first card ready now, and then we're going to go ahead and get it up on the screen for you guys, and you guys can go ahead and let it rip. I always say it's a lot easier if you sound them out. When you sound them out, kind of say them fast, because you kind of hear yourself say them, but not realize you're saying them. So
right.
One right here. So this is going to be the first card. What do you think this says?
That's actually a pretty hard one. I couldn't get that.
Porn odd hole.
Bullet upon my
porn odd hole.
what? Bull on my what? I don't know. Bullet on odd hole. What?
Man,
There's
this is
hints too. If you guys need a hint, let us know. If you need a hint.
And one hint.
All right. So one of the hints, I'm not going to give you the obvious one because there's two of them. The other one is great for those who are dead set on living in a mansion.
Dead set on living in a mansion.
This is like foreign language, dude. I have no idea what's going on. Oh God, I feel conquered.
I know, me too. This is a tough one. The first one hurt too.
I know. I don't know.
And the second hint, and here's the second hint. Bella could be one of these. Consider one of these, and that's Bunny.
Bunny.
Bella has actually done something with a company that is considered Bunny in their mantra for many years. So think Bunny, mansion, and something Bella has done.
Is it Playboy? I mean,
Playboy is the first word. Playboy is the first word.
Playboy's the first word?
Yeah.
Playboy.
Oh man.
Man. What hell? Okay.
Okay, Bella, what are you considered?
Yeah.
Playboy Bunny.
Playboy model.
Yes, it is
Model.
So when you do Playboy model. So that's the way it works. It's a play, and as I said, you either get them right away or your brain kind of shuts down when you see them. So we're going to go ahead and get the second one ready for you guys' consumption and see if you guys can figure this one out. So this one, so let me just go ahead and get this here. And this is the thing, like during the HHPod Rumble, people are going to get saves also, to where like if they can't answer the card, they get saves. But once the saves are done, and that they actually only get 1 minute. First round is 1 minute, second minute is 45 seconds, third round is 30 seconds. And if they don't get it within that, because, you know, but here you guys get however much time, because, you know, it doesn't, you know, you're not going for a championship or anything. So what do you think this one says?
Impeachment?
It is impeachment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right on.
All right. So here, let's see.
Go.
So just in case you would have needed the hints were Mueller, which I have no idea. I don't know how that makes sense.
I know what they're
Okay. Okay. And it says we should know more next week. Next week, we should know more next week, which
right now, it's all the rage. Like
So-
impeach everyone.
yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get the last one ready,
Hey.
and then we're gonna see. So
This one's pretty easy too.
yeah. So this one's
think
pretty easy too. So the hardest one was
the first
first.
one.
So
Okay.
everybody in this room may have been able to had probably done this one.
I mean,
in
I'm
real life.
won't. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about doing this tonight.
Oh, God,
So what
okay.
do you think that says?
69.
It is 69. Look at that.
Matching
100% the magic
Oh, sorry.
number.
You
Which
got that real fast.
I got that one in 2 seconds. I got that one really easy.
the hints are teamwork and the number that comes before 70, which is also the date next week for the HHPod Rumble 6/9 right here on YouTube Live. 8 o'clock p.m. for the HHPod Rumble featuring this very game, Incoherent. So, of course, this segment is called Ode to Humanity. So, we end this segment with Cards Against Humanity. Have you guys ever played Cards Against Humanity?
No.
Too many times.
Okay.
Too many,
So,
really.
so CJ has played. So CJ knows what the game is like. Bella, this is a very vulgar, demeaning game that people play. And pretty much what it is you have a blackface card and you have a bunch of other cards. And you need to pretty much everybody looks at the cards and tries to figure out the best answer. So we can't have the cards in front of you guys here on the show. So what we do is we do Cards Against Humanity roulette. So it kind of goes back to the first game where we're going to read off the subject card, and then you're going to choose a number between 1 and 6 to roulette style randomly answer that card. If you don't like the card,
Okay.
you get another. You get two rebuttals to be able to choose other answers. So Bella, you'll go first, and then CJ, you'll choose the second number. So the first one, Matt, you want to lay off the first one?
Which one are we going with?
Whichever one, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll go with this one.
And all these cards were randomly drawn out of the deck before we went live.
Okay.
So it's kind of like Mad Libs if you ever played Mad Libs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I learned the hard way that you can't cheer up a grieving friend with blank.
Okay, so Bella, what do you think? 1 through 6, a random number. What do you think a lucky number is 1 through 6 for this?
I'd say 3.
3. All right, so you're going to choose 3. CJ, what about you?
I'm going to go 6.
6. All right, so 6. All
Okay,
right, so
that's
all right. So Bella's card, which is number 3, is I learned the hard way that you can't cheer up a grieving friend with jerking off into a pool of children's tears.
Oh, God.
So that is Bella's card. And then
No.
DJ's card is I learned the hard way. You can't cheer up a grieving friend with words. So, are you guys satisfied with your answers, or do you rebuttal?
Mine's boring. I'm changing that.
All right. So now Bella, you're going to go first. 1 through 4. What do you think? 1 through 4.
She doesn't want to keep that one.
She's like
1. I'll go with 1.
1. All right. So 1. All right. And CJ, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 3. I'm gonna go with 3.
Oh God, don't pick that number.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm picking it. Because I want this one.
So here's the next one. So Bella, this is yours. I learned the hard way that you can't cheer up a grieving friend with performative wokeness. And then the second one, which is CJ's card, is I learned the hard way. You can't cheer up a grieving friend with a garbage clown who makes no one laugh and should die.
Wow.
So now there's 2 cards left. Do both of you want to use your rebuttals again, or do either of you want to hold the cards that you just got?
I'll hold mine.
You'll hold yours. All right. What about you, CJ?
I'm gonna go 1 more for the sake.
You're gonna go 1 more. All right. So
Yeah, we're gonna go.
who makes no one laugh and should die will now die, and that will go over here. So
That's
now
right,
1
cards
through
fly
2.
out.
What do you think? 1 or 2?
You guys are all number 1 in my heart, so we're gonna go number 1.
So number 1. So CJ, the card that you have to stick with now is I learned the hard way that you can't cheer up a grieving friend with the complex geopolitical quagmire that is the Middle East.
What the hell?
I'll go with it. That's all right. Okay.
Oh my God.
So, just in case you didn't get your fix, we have a second round. So, the second round is, I'll go ahead and read this off, and then Matt, you'll read the answer. So this one is, we're here. We're blank. Get used to it. So, Bella, you're going to choose the first number, 1 through 6. What do you think?
I'll go with 5.
5. All right. All right, CJ, what about you, man?
Haven't gone. Let's go 2.
2. All right. So, Matt, you want to go ahead and read those off? So Bella's card is first.
Okay, Bella's card is, we're here. We're underage drinking. Get used to it.
What the hell is all this underage shit that I don't like this.
And CJ's card.
CJ's card.
We're here. We're upgrading homeless people to mobile hotspots. Get used to it.
I like that one.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm keeping that one.
Yeah, that one's
All right,
good.
so CJ's gonna
that's
hold.
a nice liberal way.
Bella, are you good with underage drinking?
No.
I
am not
asking if you support it. I'm just asking. Of course, I've done it many, many years ago. But so you want to choose a different card. So now, Bella, 1 through 4. What do you think?
2.
2. All right. So
I don't like that laugh you did.
Right. We're here. We are violating the Geneva Convention. Get used to it.
Bella, do you want to hold with that, or do you want to use your last rebuttal?
I'll hold that one.
You hold that one? All right, cool. These 3 and that one right there will get saved and will be thrown in for next week. So there we go. So that's
about that though.
Upgrading homeless people to mobile hotspots. Like,
I love that. Hell yeah.
No, for that. Like, I mean, they can't,
it's for us though. It's not really for them.
Yeah, really. If we're in the area where the homeless people are,
look.
then...
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. We're from Maryland. If you come down here in Dundalk Avenue, I mean, you're gonna have free internet basically.
Yeah. I mean, you can look behind me if you could see really that far.
They have 3 mobile hotspots right there behind CJ.
Right there behind me.
But why not?
Whose Wi-Fi you think I'm using?
I had to mention earlier, and I'm not sure if CJ noticed it, if CJ saw on his own screen, but there was some big woman earlier that went by. It looked like she was a total zombie. Like, I was waiting for her to just maul CJ like a walker out of The Walking Dead, because she was walking by and she CJ, of course, you have your earbuds in, so can everybody in public hear us, or is it just
so I have one in, and I only have one in one ear, so luckily I have a little sense of awareness of what's going on around me too, and Nova's been my lookout over here, which has been nice, but yeah, so it's been wild. If you go back to I think it was maybe 3 minutes into the podcast or something, there was a small dog that ran through right here.
I saw him.
There was a little dog that ran through right here. We wanted to bring people on the podcast in any sort of way, and we said, "Hey, you know what, PETA, come here. You're gonna love this podcast."
So Bella, do you still have a little bit of time to hang out, and then we'll let you get out of here momentarily?
Yeah, I probably have another 15 minutes.
Okay, cool. So we're going to get into one more article, and then we'll let you go ahead and get out of here. So the final article that we have is, a transgender man identifies as a dog and says chasing sticks and playing on all fours has brought him closer to his husband. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and there's a photo right here, so I'm going to show that. So this is what he looks like in his dog mask.
Wow.
With his husband.
Wait, he's the the picture just okay. So his husband's the guy he's laying on his lap with?
Yes, that's his husband right here. So and of course, look, he has the toy and all that. It says playing fetch on all fours might seem like an unusual activity for an adult. For a man who identifies as a dog, it has brought him closer to his husband. Tony McGuinn, known as Tony Bark, has his friends and has been playing animal role play his entire life and refers to himself as a human pup. So the 30-year-old who was born female and is transgender is by his husband and handler, Andrew, who accompanies him to regular play dates with other role players in their hometown of Los Angeles. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing. This is, I did not know. See, I found these articles, but I didn't preview any of this. This is the great, like that. So like, I feel like anybody can identify as anything they want to. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, you know, of course it's Pride Month. Happy Pride Month to everybody out there. But my thing is if you identify as something, you need to go full out. You need to go
I have a question. Like, is he using the bathroom outside? Like a dog on the grass?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
and
I
then
feel
who's
like
picking up that poop, man? Like, who's picking?
I don't know. I feel like it might be.
What do you think? What do you think?
There's a dog right there. Like that. A dog.
Oh my god.
Dog.
Wait, what?
They just ran past CJ, and it's like, oh, we're talking.
Oh my
dogs
god,
already.
no!
Talking about you.
No, this is crazy.
I could not time that any better. The mask is I kind of want this mask just to wear to like the bar. Like that's like the kind of thing. Like, I just want to order drinks in this mask. Like, and he has like some sort of weird like scouts like thing. It looks like too, and it says the man who identifies as a dog, Tony McGuinn, in the mask that he uses while acting and playing. And I wonder if he does like what we talked about earlier, like how you just kind of shit and go along. Like, I mean,
just go.
shitting right now, like as he's holding this toy in his mouth, and then like his owner just like cleans him up or whatever. Like I feel like that's what you need to be dedication. Like, if you identify as a dog,
you need to go 100% all the way.
You need to go 100%.
Right.
Like, I respect that.
I just want to know if he's microchipped.
No toilets for you. No toilets.
Losing my animals. I don't.
It says Tony said to me, a dog is everything pure in the world. Dogs experience the world through a lens of pure joy that I don't think other animals have.
I mean,
a lot of little kids like to play like they're a dog, and most of them grow out of it. I just never grew out of it. And now in my adult life and my relationships, for me to feel vulnerable and exposed and close to my partner, it's a very intimate thing. Imagine if the easiest way to delight your partner is just to throw a ball across the room. So I'm guessing if I go upstairs and throw my ball across the room, my wife's just going to look at me like, what are you doing? And my dogs are going to rush after the ball. It says relationships wouldn't fail anymore if it was all you had to do. Andrew added, I'll hang out with him and provide lots of attention and tell him he's a good boy. And that's basically 90% of it. So I wonder if he licks his owner's face and all that.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering as well. Because I mean, does he walk? Well, I guess when they're walking, does he walk them on a leash or?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, if it's to a dog park, does he have to be on a leash? Like does the leash law apply to this person? Like that's the thing. Like, if he's called by like a Rottweiler, like, is it because he wasn't on a leash? Like, I mean, like does human law apply to that, or does dog law apply to that? Like,
and then I'm wondering, like, can't they just do that without identifying as a dog? I mean, if you know what I'm saying, like
they can. So this goes very much into the
because that's like some type of kink, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pet. So it's pet play. So like, if you give me like one and a half minutes here, I actually have a really, really good friend in the business who's like my PA, helps me out and everything, who actually she's into pet play. And she actually does that. Her name's M Indigo.
Okay.
And super shout out to her, super awesome and everything. But literally it's the enjoyment. I mean, she's got ears, she's got the muzzle, she's got everything. And it's the enjoyment of just kind of, there's a little dom sub dynamic to it as well. But it was so much more common than what I would have thought. She actually brought me to this event, undisclosed location, where it was literally, like you saw in the picture, a lot of people just dressed up like that. And it was indoors and in place. I mean, they had a ball pit. They were playing like dog tag and stuff inside. Yeah, they had a literal ball pit. They had all these different like dynamics and stuff in this place. And it was just, it was so wild. Like, I mean, they were just literally acting like dogs, playing fetch, hitting stuff back and forth. The whole dynamic of just the owner and pet is like a whole kind of thing that just gets kind of a different response out of you. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure, Bella, you've been asked a million times about pet play or something like that on cam. You must have been.
Yeah, well, not like an actual animal, but more like the
right,
like baby voice and all that crazy stuff. You know, like acting like, oh,
Like with that too, like I feel like he's identifying as a dog, and I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with furries. Like, why not just take the furry route? Like that's
I've heard of those.
that's the whole thing, because like I said this before on the show that like I worked at a bowling alley way back when, and we used to have furries that would come in. And there was a guy who came in a Siberian Husky costume, and we rolled bowling balls from one end of the bowling alley to the other, and he would chase it. And it was one of the biggest stories of my life, because I was like, this guy, like, wild dog, like we could pet him and everything. Like this dog, I'm not sure if I would want to pet this dog. Like, that's the whole thing. But
because I think in a furry relationship, I think in a like a pet play relationship, you have the owner. You have someone who isn't identifying as another furry. At least that's what I think about it. So like, literally in furry, you don't have like the leash or any of that. It can be more like BDSM style almost in pet play, as opposed to like furry, which is like pretty crazy. If you ever go look at the price of furry suits, if you ever get a chance, just from what I've heard. But if you go check out, like, they're insane, right?
I was like, from what I heard, he has 16 of them just lined up in his closet.
He has a collection.
I think what that person is doing.
I like to be a squirrel on Saturdays, and then on Sunday, I like to be a Dalmatian. Like,
I think what that person is doing, they're like jumping on like the woke bandit, and they're just trying to like get clout. Because like, why do you even need to? Like, there was a guy that really went all in, and he wanted to be like a cat or something, or a lizard, and he like got his whole face altered. He got his tongue,
right.
Like he was dedicated. He had a wife and everything.
Did he have like whiskers and shit?
Yeah, he had like whiskers. He had implanted like all this stuff, and I'm like, if you're gonna do it, do it. But that looks like a Halloween costume. What he's doing on
yeah, like
at a certain point, you're hurting yourself. I mean, like, so there's I think there was a guy who tried to do that. He either like tried to be a dragon or an alien, but he went all out and he went cut his like nose off and all this stuff.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He looks like Red Skull from Captain America. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, all I'm gonna say is, hopefully my significant other's not listening to the show right now. But a relationship would be so much easier if she was like a dog. Like, I just let her out. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I rub your belly for a little
do
while.
my thing. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like, it's playtime. And then I'm like, all right. Get in your cage. Get in your cage.
Just your luck of all the episodes that
she's listening to this
she'll
one.
watch this one. But no, Bella, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead, let you get ready to get out of here. I know you said you were short on time still. So Bella, where can everybody find you? And I always advise don't give out your address. Like when we say where can
oh no. And if someone does find me unauthorized, I have cameras and you get shot down.
Yeah, we don't
just lay it out there.
Yeah, I'm just putting it out there. Like I have a lot of things that I could get you away from here.
You can keep.
There you go.
Yeah. But where can everybody find you, Bella?
You're gonna slam with a bunch of food orders now.
Yeah, I don't play that shit. So you can find me on Instagram at bella.maori, or on Twitter, Pixie PIXIE_Penny PENNY, or you can go on playboy.com and then you can just find me on there. You can put in Bella Maori and I'll pop up. And then if you want to find where I'm camming, you can go on my Instagram and go to my link tree, and then it'll show you like my camming sites. I'm mostly on MFC, so
okay, cool. And Bella, real quick, we're going to hang out probably for a couple more minutes with CJ before we wrap up our live. Real quick, what I'm going to do, we don't normally do these on our live too much, but since we're going to let you go ahead and get ready to get out here, would you just be able to do a plug for us real quick? Let me just pin you real quick. Just say your name and say you're watching the Happy Hour podcast, however you want to word it, and whenever you're ready, you're good to go.
All right. What's up, everyone? I'm Bella Maori. Wait, hold on.
No, you're good. You're good.
I feel like I'm on a shoot now. Like I'm doing.
Yeah.
Take two. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. What's up? I'm Bella Maori, and you are watching the Happy Hour podcast. Tune in. What's up? Have a good day. I don't know if that sounds crazy, but
no, you're good.
I'll do it again. I don't know.
No, you're good. I can edit whatever. Bella, thank you so much for coming onto our show. I always like to consider it the train wreck of a podcast because we just go
So much fun on here because it's just like I could just do whatever. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many
kind of the fair
shows to
point.
just stick to the whole. How did you get started? Blah blah blah. So I'm like, no, I want to talk about a guy falling through the fucking ceiling of a Waffle House. Like that's like just shit that like you're not going to expect when you come on. Bella will be in contact. I'm very backed up on them because we have so many guests. We like to send all of our guests a T-shirt as a thank you for being on the show. So I'll be in contact somewhere, in the future. I can't guarantee how soon. I'll let you pick out a design. We have like probably about like 20 different designs, 20 different T-shirt designs. And the only thing we ask is just post a photo plugging us wearing the shirt.
Definitely, for sure. You got it, 100%. Thank you for having me on here. It was a great time.
Yeah,
Bella,
Bella,
it was great meeting you. It was great meeting you.
You too, CJ, and have a great time at your table and everything. Great meeting you guys, Ray.
All the dogs and all the people and everything.
No sticking things up your asses.
Not on camera.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, and CJ, honestly, it was hilarious. So we were talking about the dog thing that, like, it looked like to be a German Shepherd just came running up behind you, like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And of course, CJ, we're gonna ask you the same thing. Where can everybody find you? If you want to give out your address, you can. Like, it's fine. Where can everybody find?
Nobody gonna come find me. Yeah. Nobody cares if they come find me. I don't think, but I'll just tell them. We're on so many platforms and everything. So the easiest way for you guys, honestly, to find us is to just go to reallifexxx.com. It's spelled exactly as you see here on the towel, RealLifeXXX.com. That's one L because two L's kind of look weird. So we did reallifexxx.com. It's going to have links to 18 plus content as well as social media, YouTube content, as you guys are watching here on YouTube. That's going to be just as fun to watch, whether you like safe for work or not safe for work content.
And CJ, thanks, man. We appreciate you coming in and hanging out. I hope you had a good time. You
guys made it. You guys made it. You know what? I couldn't tell you guys were hungover.
I'm feeling it. I got a monster fucking headache.
Yeah, dude. Like, as I said before, I got so used to with pro wrestling, and everybody who watches this show, I say this all the time, is that with pro wrestling, it was the kind of thing that we could sit there and talk shit out in the back as much as we want, but we all knew that as soon as we walked out the curtain, we'd probably forget most of it, and you need to know how to call the shit on the fly, and that's what I do here. Of course, we got to all the articles we wanted to get to, but in case we didn't, it makes you work harder and it makes it more authentic if you have it makes me work. So it's like, if I have a whole set script that I stick to or whatever, it's like, okay, this is easy. But now it's like, there's no script. I have to try to remember, hey, get to this article, get to that article. We may not, but either way, we'll still find something. I'll dig something out from
That's a lot how our shoots operate. Sometimes like it'll throw people for a loop because you go into like a standard adult set, right? And it's like, you have your script. We're going to do stills for this time. We're going to do our shooting for this time, etc., whatever it might be. Our stuff, since we're, so we go out and we're like on the fly out and stuff. You don't know what the situation's going to be, like who the waiter's going to be, like, et cetera and stuff. So a lot of stuff have to have kind of like this plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D kind of like deal. And it's just whether it's a podcast or whether it's, you're shooting some kind of blogs or anything like that, that creative ingenuity of being able to adapt, I think is huge.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I mean, dude, like we've had so many people come on the show and go, man, this wasn't what I was expecting. And we're just kind of like, hey,
we're just now she said she had a lot of fun. I mean, that's what we're really trying to do. Is just
fun. Go out there, have fun. Like basically if all of us were hanging out, drinking beer, talking about shit, like laughing about like, Waffle House, to go, hey, did you hear about this guy that fell through like a Waffle House ceiling? Like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Like, let's look up the video. Oh, this is hilarious. Like, it's the same thing, just kind of like, a hangout. Like, I feel like it's not really as much of a show, but.
And you guys are giving great plugs to beer and everything like that. I need a drink. You're making me want some nice old Maryland, little, Virginia beer over there.
Yeah, man. If you're ever out this way, definitely hit us up. We'll definitely go get like, beer or something like that at one of the local breweries or something like that. And CJ, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and wrap up here on YouTube Live. Would you be able to hang out for a second once we conclude?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Guys.
Awesome. So what we're going to do, we're going to wrap up here on YouTube Live real quick. I'm just going to check the live stream just to see if there's anything in there. So Jason Rushman, of course, he said he had never been to, he's never been to Hooters. He said he hoped that there's one in Jersey when he goes to Exotica, which shout out Exotica. We will be there this year. So
there is Jersey, born and raised for 20 years. I know there's a Hooters there.
Awesome. Yeah. So Jason, there is a Hooters down there in Jersey. And he said that somebody glued a piece of wood to their forehead and he saw it on the internet. So that must be pretty, pretty bad situation. But yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to wrap up here on YouTube Live. Please, please, please join us right here 5 nights from now, June 9th, the second annual HHPod Rumble. 30 former guests. I'm not even going to attempt to try to round off who they all are right here because there's just way too many. A who's who of guests from porn, the horror industry,
Music.
wherever else that they've,
all walks of life.
All walks of life. And they're going to be playing Incoherent, and the winner will be getting a championship belt. It's just a fun little thing. No other podcast does it. We're the first. We're the only ones who do it. So if you see it anywhere else, they ripped it from the Happy Hour podcast because no one else has ever done it. It kind of gets chaotic at times, but it's going to be fun. So make sure you tune in right here, 8:00 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube Live. We're going to be posting about it all week long. Just to say a few, Trinity St. Clair, Sin Stage, they're all going to be returning to the show. Janine Jericho, she's going to be here. Just a who's who of guests that are going to be here for the show. So, and we will see you guys next week, 8:00 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube Live for the HHPod Rumble, which will conclude season 3. And then you saw in our advertisements, we will be starting season 4 the following week with Marina Gold. She will be our first guest of season 4, which will be on June 17th. So, CJ, thank you, man, for coming onto the show and hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks again for Bella, for coming in. And thank you for everybody that's tuned in, anybody who will see this after the fact, and anybody who will listen to this once it makes it to the audio platform. So, of course, I'm Ray.
This is Matt.
Yep,
what's up?
Matt, and, of course, CJ. We will see you guys next time right here on the Happy Hour podcast, right here exclusively on YouTube Live.